Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. This new energy that some of you are experiencing is truly new. And there begin to be questions about the new energy from light workers who are feeling it. And one of them we're getting is an interesting one. May not be yours, but you should hear the answer. In this new energy, I understand I can step into my power. Yes, you can. But I'm afraid of who I might become. You could look at that phrase and it defines duality. Duality, you might say, is that old concept of the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. It's just, who's going to win this battle today of energies, you might say? And amongst the idea that you could step into your power, which means a full change of reality, among that there is then the doubt that says, yeah, but what's next? What will I become? Should I be afraid of that? Can you see the dichotomy there, dear ones? This is a channel about enablement. This is a channel about love. It's a channel about how you are looked at, taken care of, hugged, you might say, as a human being. You probably have heard the phrase, you have free choice. And indeed, the human does. Mostly, that free choice is about accepting that which is before you, that is spiritual or not, awakening to a grander truth or not. And there's no penalty for you not awakening to a grander truth, dear ones, none at all. Unlike what you might have been taught by some spiritual systems, there is no penalty. Remember the prodigal son, the interesting parable where you have two sons on the planet and the father sends them in to be whatever they're going to be. This is the metaphor of spirit sending two humans into the planet. One does everything right, one does everything wrong. They both come home and they get the same party. The metaphor, they both pass over back to the veil and there's no punishment. That's the truth. It's a good parable because that is the teaching that we give every day. There's no penalty if you don't suddenly awaken to the things that I'm channeling about, because you see, you're always loved, regardless of what you do. Now, concerning this particular phrase that I gave you, if I step into my power, I'm afraid of who I might become. I want you to know something. That when you start to step into your power, why not define that? What is your power? Your power really would be defined as that which you contain now, but you can expand because you're using that which is the God inside and the guidance that comes with it and the light that comes with it. You step into your power, meaning you step into a reality that has guidance in it. But you come out of an old reality that doesn't. Therefore, you carry what you assume in the old reality into the new reality, and it's the same fear. It's the same paradigm. You can't do that. So let's study that. There is, you might say, more light now than there was last year, 2025. There is a whole lot more energy that is benevolent to the light worker, the old soul, in the energy right now that you're listening to me in. There truly is. If you wish to find it, these have been the channels, if you've been listening. Finding it is about you then dropping the baggage of the old energy and allowing that which is a lighter energy to enter your life. In other words, you're going to have to learn what it's like to be freer. But it's difficult because you bring into this light energy everything that is old. Now, the defense mechanisms of a light worker against the arrows of ugliness and all when you're trying to be compassionate truly are there. You learn to work with the old energy in a way that you are safe. And all light workers do this. You have to. You have to. You have just gone through perhaps a very difficult time, especially in the last 3 years. It's been ugly. It truly is. It's almost like, I would say, the old energy approaches you in cascades of difficulty. And some of you found that true. Now you're working in the light, in a light that wasn't there before, dear ones. And this light that was not there before is what we're speaking of. You would think, would you not, that if there is a dark room and you're just feeling around in it and you wish it was better, and then suddenly it gets lighter and you walk into a light room, you go, oh, that's much better. I can just walk more freely and this is good. Well, that paradigm and that metaphor, that whole example, it doesn't work with energy. It really doesn't. Because you have a personality. Old soul that you might be, beautiful old soul light worker you might be, you still have had 30 years or so of dark energy thrown at you called the shift. It's an energy we predicted all along, and the ancients have too. And you've gone through it, and here you are, walking in a lighter energy where things don't push back. And yet, you're ready for them to push back, aren't you? You carry the reality from last year into this year, so you're afraid of what you might become. If you took that power of light. So the issue here and the subject of this channel and the teaching would be this. You've got to learn how to use this lighter energy, how to drop the things that you carry in with you that have been your tools and weapons and shields and all that, whatever you've used from the past, to shield you from energy that was not commensurate with your magnificence. And here you are, and suddenly you might understand that the things that were bumping you and bothering you and assaulting you in energy, they're not there. Now, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the energy of your space before you. This is a dimensional shift that invites you to learn what it's about to walk in the light. A lighter energy is one that you don't have to fight when you get up in the morning. You got to learn that. If you're one that is going to learn that, dear ones, if you're one, perhaps that is asking, well, what does it mean? What really does it mean to walk in a lighter energy? I will tell you this. You can have so much more guidance, and the learning will be so much shorter if you will study being joyful. It's time to enter that world of the inner child that we have told you for many, many years is exceptionally valuable. And what happens with the inner child is you are studying exactly what it says, a time when you were not pressed with the responsibilities that you are now. And you were free, and you could laugh. And the worst thing you could do is play too long, perhaps, and your mom wanted you to come inside. That inner child is in every single human. These are things that don't go away. They really don't. You might say, well, they're past memories. Everything is still there. Your brain supports this. But more than that, the emotions and the energies are still there. You know how you can prove that? Almost every single one of you has had perhaps a very embarrassing moment, or perhaps a time you'll remember for the rest of your life because something happened. And if you go back to that place, you'll be embarrassed all over again and feel the sorrow perhaps you did it. You just don't want to even go there. And why is that? And that's because it's etched into your mind, your brain. All of that is still there. Therefore, the joy is there as well. It may not carry the same impact as the other things, but when you start going there, you can laugh with it and realize it's still there. Your childhood. Now you might say, well, I didn't have a very good one. You still laughed. You know you did. There were times when you had a wonderful time with your peers, perhaps, or at school, perhaps. There were times for all humans when they could laugh and did. And that'd be you. So I'm teaching you what one of the learning aspects would be like, to work in a lighter energy that you've never seen before. Instead of carrying the darkness in with you, you drop that which does not suit you. You become lighter because you've dropped it. You start seeing joy when it wasn't there before. And when you can get to that point where you're starting to learn what a lighter energy can be and be for you, that's when all manner of things start to happen, including the one that some of you have tuned in to hear. That is allowance to heal your body. You've always had the ability, but in the lighter energy, it's been expanded. Talking to innate, it's been expanded. Intuition, it's been expanded. But not until you understand that you're going to have to learn to be lighter. Learn to be lighter means learn to be more joyful. Take time to laugh at yourself and others. Find funny movies. Do whatever you can. This will be a staple of the Kryon teaching from now on. There's got to be fun. And this is a catalyst, dear ones, for absolutely everything else that you've wanted. What if you took your power and then became someone else so that people would say, what happened to you? I really like it. What happened? And you could say, I had compassion and guidance and love that brought me to who I am now, as you discussed that new you. And you didn't have to do any of it yourself. Not really. Because love led the way. Compassion led the way. Kindness was the glue that put it all together. And you became someone else, and there was no fear. Do not fear the guidance of the Creator. You are becoming closer to that which you are in the magnificence that you were born in. And in all of that, dear ones, you just follow the love. There's no fear in that. I am crying in love with you all. And so it is.